It's Bourbon Night. Hello, I'm Chad.
I'm Sarah.
Sarah, we got 2 bottles sitting here on the uncorking stage. Two bottles. What are we up to? What do we got?
That's right. We have Knob Creek 9-year single barrel and Knob Creek 12-year cask strength.
Okay. Now, it's hard to believe we haven't uncorked...
In all our time, Chad. But I think this is a good time to bring it up if we haven't already, right?
That's right, because we wanted to compare it to this new guy, which is, I guess, the main event. The 12-year cask strength, which is 120.5 proof, this being 120 proof.
You're like, oh, that's only half a proof point difference. What's the big deal?
But this one got water added to it, and maybe more than,
sure.
12 years.
We don't know where it started.
If it was in the more of the bottom of the warehouse, it could have actually lost proof. So this 9-year could have been 125, and they added, So you just don't know.
You just don't know.
But let's get to it. We're going to start with the 9-year. Hey, not bad.
Usually these are my favorite, one of my least favorites to open.
I got hit in the neck.
Did you?
With some shrapnel.
There's always
shrapnel.
Yeah, there's always projectiles with
Knob
Creek. And this is the hardest part. I feel like is getting a handle on that. It's such a mess. Look at that.
Okay. Here we go. Pause for cork pop.
See?
Well, that wasn't my best.
And there's still some
little filaments. So for your reference, we are going to keep the 9-year single barrel on our right, and the
Suppose that's your left. Wow.
Yeah,
Chad.
sorry. In the Drink More Bourbon Glencairns.
Just rub it in that table. Yeah. We're just seasoning the
wood.
wood.
This is a well-seasoned table. Tell you what, if we ever sell this, we can advertise it as
well-seasoned.
The 9-year, I mean, it's pretty classic because it's a single barrel for under $50.
The price.
It's a 9-year age stated.
The 120 proof.
All them
is my
things.
main thing.
Yeah.
For that price point is you get that proof.
Nice dark
and you get the age.
color, nice amber tones.
Beautiful. I mean, I think it's pretty classic Knob Creek.
It's very classic Knob Creek. It's,
a good heavy, nice char richness and obviously a little bit of nuttiness in there. Brown sugar.
The barrel, it smells like it's gonna be a nice coating, mouthfeel, all that jazz. A little peanut buttery.
Yeah.
All right. Woo! Yes. Hey-o!
The finish is medium.
It is medium, but it's here already.
Right. It gets a little hot. I think it has, as you would expect for something of this proof at this price, maybe some edges that could use some refinement. But sure. I think overall, what's not to like? I mean, it's got character and flavor and... Some
places this is like $40. It could be between 40 and 50. I mean,
it's value. This is another one that I would put if you have recently gotten into bourbon and you are ready to step up your proof game, you feel yourself gravitating to higher proof things, I think this is a great one to start out with because you get the experience without paying. We see a lot of barrel proof things come in at a lot higher price points. So I think that this is a great entryway to that.
And obviously we've had
many a
Knob Creek single barrel 120 proofs.
We actually did our own pick.
Yeah.
Been on several picks.
Well, I'm speaking of just the ones you can get on the shelf.
Right.
In our day. And I feel like we kind of know that this is one that opens up well, and some of those kind of harsh edges that you were talking about get a little smoothed out with it opening up over time. And we'll spend some time with this in the glass and come back to it later, but as it opens up in the glass and opens up in the bottle, I feel like it does smooth out a little bit. Not that there's anything wrong with just as it is with the neck bore. It's also really good. Yeah,
a little bit of a tobacco note in there, which I think maybe comes with that 9-year just barely creeping
that age. Yeah. It's actually got a pretty decent mouthfeel comparatively for the price. I feel like there's a little bit of a sorghum type of taste and sort of a little bit on the mouthfeel, it's a little thicker. A little bit of dark honey, molasses, chocolate note on the finish. That nuttiness, of course, really sets in with that hug.
Yeah.
That gets set up there. Now main event time, because this is around everywhere, right? This, not so much.
No?
Limited release.
Limited, yes. It's got the little button.
It's got the
to
button.
prove it.
It's got the button.
If you don't believe it.
Look at the button. So this is Knob Creek 12-year, but it's Cask strength. Don't drop it, Sarah.
So 120.5.
120.5, yeah, which we've already addressed. Now, there was the 12-year 100 proof that came out this year also. It was around $70. Now, when the label for this came across the TTB, a lot of people reported about it, and they're like, hey, there's a cask strength 12-year coming out. It's going to be 117 proof, and it's going to be $70.
Right. And then people were like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Why is it more money but less proof than this guy?
Well, more age.
You get the age, right?
Yeah.
But apparently that was just a placeholder.
Yeah.
It was a for placement only proof. So this ended up, because they don't know what it's going to come out at cask strength. So you just make some noise.
You got to figure out which way it wants to go. This one went this way. This one goes this way.
So this one is about double, right? 95?
95.
So about double the price for 3 extra years.
Better.
And roughly the same proof.
Better wax experience.
Better.
Yeah, so $95, 12 years, but it's cask strength. So
Right.
pause for cork pop.
That one was interesting. It had like a dual tone
Yeah.
pop.
Kind of harmonized with itself.
Yeah.
Let's find out if 3 more years and 0.5 in proof is worth going up $40.
I'll tell you what, that nose is different. But they're in the same family. They're definitely related. They're like brothers. The 12-year limited edition cask strength is like the bigger. He's a big brother.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm 5 minutes older than you. Whatever. He's 3 years older.
3 years older. It smells a little more refined to me.
That's what I was going to say. A lot of the same notes. It just seems to be a little more in harmony, I guess.
Yeah, a lot of the same. A lot of the same barrel nuttiness. There's some honey kind of in there.
I get like a little floral or fruity, just a touch kind of creeping in there. Like another layer that's sneaking in that this one didn't have on the nose.
Agreed.
But yeah, there's like a sweetness, but also that rich barreled char kind of brown sugar notes that we talked about.
Sarah, it smells more like a Booker's to me. It kind of has, and I know Booker's is even younger than this guy. It's usually around 6 to 7 years, maybe 8 at the oldest. This is 9, this is 12, but it's getting more of like the refined, this is an upper echelon Jim Beam product.
Sure.
You know?
If you made a family tree of Jim Beam products as far as like taste in relation to one another, this one would be like a branch off of Knob Creek, but that's going towards the Booker's branch, right?
Well, hopefully. We haven't tasted it yet.
Nose-wise.
Nose-wise, yes. All right, let's taste it. Oh, dang. Oh, hold up.
It's hard to believe that that's only 0.5 difference. Wow, that one got me.
Hold up. Hey, drink bourbon every day. Wow.
A lot of hemming and hawing over here
Well,
for this one.
And just let me say, I kind of don't want to like this one so much more than this one. I'd rather just
don't.
pay $45 and stick with this 9-year single barrel at 120 and be happy than love a $95 one that's 3 years older and 0.5 higher in proof. But right off the rip, this tastes more exceptional by a pretty noticeable amount. Like those rough edges we were talking about in this one, which we appreciate, are not in this one, and it does have more of a Booker's feel. It's just more of like an exceptional.
If Booker's and Knob Creek had a baby, it would be this one. This one is, the mouthfeel is, in my opinion, exponentially better. I didn't say anything on the first sip because I was just like trying to absorb the experience of that really just coating your entire mouth.
Oh my
and it
goodness.
Pops a little with the heat, and you wouldn't expect it to be that much of a difference between these two, but I was not prepared. Because I was expecting this, and that is not the same.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, it is tasty.
Wow. But no, you're right. It tastes more in proof than half a point.
Yeah, it's giving me more like on the one, again, Booker's level proofs, where I'm like, woohoo.
Yeah. It has a silkiness to it. Much better mouthfeel, as you said. It's richer. It's thicker.
Has a lot more going on.
It just goes down better. It's really coating the mouth. Front of the tongue.
I still get a little bit of that tobacco note, but now there's like a dark cherry introduced into there.
And dark chocolate on the finish.
I mean, the flavors and the mouthfeel of this one, but like turned up.
Turned up 3 years.
A lot.
And half a proof.
And the finish, medium, long.
Wow. All right. Wasn't expecting that, to be honest with
No,
you.
I wasn't either. For me, the biggest things are the mouthfeel and the finish difference
Absolutely.
on this one.
I kind of want to let it sit here, and then we can break it down a little bit more. But I feel like we should let these sit for about 10. I've definitely got my bourbon coat on, but for some reason,
The sweatshirt's a little toasty.
for some reason, I'm getting chilly. So if you excuse me for a second. Oh, there we go. Much better. Oh, look at this. Sarah, move these bottles. You can't see. It's the new Zip hoodie from our home on the internet, which is whiskyambitions.com, where you can get said hoodie that has...
This is some core work here, Chad. It has Drink More Bourbon on the back. Look at that.
There you go. Sorry.
It's okay.
You can also get our Glencairns, which are now back in stock. Our new Copitas, which I meant to grab one to show, but I didn't. But they're Copitas.
If you want to know what it looks like, go to whiskyambitions.com.
Yeah. Our water glasses, our rocks glasses.
This t-shirt.
This t-shirts, yeah.
All that stuff.
Long sleeves and so much more. Always coming soon. That's whiskyambitions.com.
You can become a patron at patreon.com/itsbourbonnight and join our community for as little as $1 a month. We do patron-only podcasts. We do after the episode exclusives. We'll throw out polls for you guys to weigh in on big episodes coming up. Like, we are getting close to holiday time, and we will need some input. So
Yes.
you can join there at patreon.com.
Very good. All right, we're going to let it sit here for another 10, and we will see you soon. And we're back. Thanks for hanging around with us. So it's sat here. Let's go back to the 9-year single barrel,
All right.
if and you will.
I will.
It's gotten sweeter.
Yes.
We can agree.
Words right out of my mouth.
Yeah, and it feels
Like a little candy.
Yes.
A little caramel candy.
It feels smoother. It feels like those edges are already kind of sawed off.
I agree.
Yeah. Now that's the Knob Creek that I'm used to.
That old chestnut.
That old chestnut. The neck pour is a little prickly, a little harsh,
Still,
you know.
yeah. The finish is still...
Agreed.
Finish is probably my least favorite part of it.
It hasn't gotten longer with the finish, and the finish hasn't really become more exceptional or anything.
Yeah, there's almost like a touch of bitterness on the finish. I think it's
Possibly.
charish related.
Charish. Don't be charish.
Don't be churlish.
Don't be churlish. But the palate has kind of smoothed out and gotten more enjoyable. It's more, this is what a Knob Creek tastes like. You give it 10 minutes in the glass and there you go, forget about it.
There it is. I mean, great for $45.
Hell yeah. What has 10 minutes done to the 12-year 120.5 proof?
I really like that nose.
I mean, it's gotten a little sweeter too.
A little, yeah.
I took the zip hoodie off because I got hot again.
I'm also, it's
nice and it's
well,
nice
it's
and
the
warm.
Knob Creek.
Yeah. Okay, 12-year.
I'm a fan.
Say no more. Say no more. Wow. And wow. Again,
Yeah, I think you like it better
the
than I.
0.5. No, I was going more on the proof perception of proof. That 0.5
Really
tastes.
makes a difference. Well, but it is the 0.5, but also, as we talked about before, adding water does change things. So while this is only 0.5 less, as we talked about, it could have been in the barrel at 120. They usually come in at like between 122 and 125, I feel like. And then they add a little bit of water, a couple gallons based on that. But the water does dilute the texture and the flavor.
A gallon.
Sure.
Yeah.
It does dilute it at any rate. And this is having none of that. And I think that's why we're getting...
none of that.
It will have none of that.
I'm with you, Sarah. I feel yes.
I feel yes.
I feel yes. Because it's kind of like... we loved...
Where are you getting these?
Wait, you don't have a door down here?
No.
Oh, you don't
There's
have a door
an intern down there.
You don't have an intern on
handing
your
them
side?
We don't have an intern.
Yeah, we did an uncorking of this a couple years ago when it came out, and we loved it. But this was like $130. But it was the 25th anniversary of Knob Creek. But at the time, to our knowledge, this was the only way that you could get a cask strength Knob Creek, and this one came in at 121.9 proof. Barrel in 2004, and it probably came out in
2017,
18 or 17. So I mean,
13.
Has
maybe
some age.
13,
maybe even
14 years.
A little bit older than this guy. But the price is
Probably
what
maybe even
turned a lot of people off. But exceptional.
We really liked it.
I am really seeing a lot, not even whispers, like shouts of this one and this guy. I just have to say.
I'm curious about what we will do in the Patreon after the episode.
Bing, 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 bing,
How
bing,
interesting.
bing.
Look at that. No, I was about to say, Chad, I didn't expect this to happen today, but I think that this could be a best of 2020 contender.
Sarah? It's Sarah, right?
It is.
I agree. I think we should put this in our blind best of 2020 contention.
Do I think it will win?
Probably
No.
not.
Probably not. But I'm very interested to see where this ranks, especially knowing that we have some bottles hovering around the $200 mark in that best of.
Can it crack the top 10? Yeah, I feel like it could. I wouldn't be surprised if it did.
I wouldn't be surprised if it came in. Yeah, for me, it's all about the mouthfeel and the finish on this one. I mean, the flavors are good. They're really good. I feel like that's the thing that these two have the most in common, though, is the flavor.
Yes.
This one just takes it to another level.
I mean, it's, to borrow that cooking term, I feel like now, this is elevated. This is great. This is an elevated version of it.
Right.
All right, let's break it down, Sarah. Brass tacks. Going back to the 9-year single barrel, $40 to $50. I think around here for us, it's around $45. Recommend or not?
This?
Yeah.
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 Duh.
Yeah, duh. It's great. All right. Knob Creek, 12-year, 120.5. Cask strength. Now, before we say recommend or not, we gotta bring this obvious comment that's down in the comments, which someone has probably put there because they didn't watch to this point in the video. Why would I pay $95, Sarah and Chad, when I can go out and get a $45, $50 pick at 120 proof that's 12, 13, 14, 15 years?
I don't know.
And that is an argument that is very, very, very valid. Now, the only thing we can say, picks vary.
True.
Who's picking it varies. So, yeah. And
we've heard a rumor about the availability of those potentially
that's where I was going
down.
Yeah.
So, yes, right now, at this point in time, you can probably go find a Knob Creek pick somewhere in your area. Now, I don't know where you live, but it's likely that you could stumble across one and pay less for almost the same thing. In which case, I think do that. But if you're a big Knob Creek fan and you like this flavor profile and you want to see what's the next step up, I'm not disappointed in this at all. I really like this. Like I said, we're going to put it in our best of 2020 and see where it lands. And there's a lot of ifs, ands, or buts to this recommend or not. Which I feel like people are always like, just say you don't like it. I'm like, that's not what I'm saying.
That's not it.
It's just not. It's a gray area sometimes.
Okay, so here's like the thing, and you just said it. Like, if you want to know, like, this is an obvious line.
Yes. Right here,
because these were picked in single barrel, not single barrel, but by the No family, the Knob Creek employee. Like, this is a straight line. When you go here to a pick that's made by a bourbon society or a liquor store or someone else, you branch off. It's like the timeline in Back to the Future Part 2.
You don't really know where.
It's an alternate timeline. It's an alternate 1985 where Biff has his own hotel. So if you want to stay on the line and not gamble with your $45, $50, $55 of a pick, unless you know that it is for sure good, then here is your way to not gamble. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Now, taste alone, forgetting that there's barrel picks out there all over the place, $95 that tastes like this for a 12-year age-stated 120.5 proof, which is a great proof. Mm-hmm. I didn't think I was going to be landing here, Sarah, but I recommend it.
Yeah, I think what's really hard for me, Chad, is without having any real proof of this, I think we're entering a new age of Knob Creek just based on the 15-year 100 proof and the 12-year 100 proof releases that came out earlier this year and the price points that those landed at. I have a feeling that Knob Creek is moving in a different direction, which is kind of why I believe these speculations about the single barrels potentially diminishing. In that world, I feel like this is a really great pour for what I feel like is a fair price for this. I'd like to see it be 80, but we can't get everything we want. So I'd rather pay the $95 for this than the $100 for the 15-year 100 proof.
Absolutely.
I'll say that.
We don't need to pay extra for it to be in a box.
We don't need the box, no.
I like this so much more than this. I also like this so much more than the 100 proof 12 year. I'd rather pay from 70 to 95. I would rather pony that up for this.
I would agree with you there.
Yeah. So
All right.
are you giving it the official?
I suppose.
Okay.
I had a lot of, yeah.
Well, sure.
And if you have a problem with the price
There's
point, just get
caveats.
this. Or just go find a barrel pick. But.
Exactly. Now, here's a question for you all. Do you think, since they came out with the 12-year cask strength, that they'll come out with a 15-year cask strength? And if they do, what price do you think that would be at? I'm going to guess 130.
I was going to guess about 130 to 150.
Yeah. All right, very good. Well, hey, if you haven't subscribed to us already, we'd love to have you. You can click right up here to do so. There's suggestions of other videos right down here. We hope to see you over there in one of those. Thanks, Sarah.
Thanks, Chad.
Okay, until next time, drink more bourbon.